Hello students, welcome to today's video. Well, we are on the second chapter, that is the consumer equilibrium, and so far the topics being covered after the last video that are discussed under the cardinal utility analysis, and with today's video we will start the ordinal utility analysis. So let's start it. Ordinal utility analysis. Well, the ordinal utility analysis is much more a stronger concept than the cardinal utility analysis. The ordinal utility analysis is formulated by two modern economists, J.R. Hicks and R.G. Allen. So these two economists heavily criticized the cardinal utility concept, and they have formulated the ordinal utility analysis or the ordinal utility concept. They criticized the cardinal utility concept on the ground that the cardinal utility concept says that utility can be numerically measurable. That means utility can be measured like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on and so forth. So that was the main idea of cardinal utility analysis. And J.R. Hicks and R.G. Allen has heavily criticized on this simple fact that utility cannot be measured in cardinal numbers, that is, utility cannot be measured in absolute terms, rather utility is entirely a psychological phenomenon and we cannot measure it in terms of this absolute number. And this is much more a stronger idea that how we can measure our own satisfaction in terms of these few numbers, and this differs from person to person, and we cannot say that the use of a commodity gives some amount of numerical satisfaction, like use of this whiteboard marker gives me 1 lakh utils, or use of this whiteboard gives me 5000 utils. So we cannot say like that, and it is not possible to numerically estimate utility. It is entirely a psychological concept. So what best a consumer can do, a consumer can, instead of specifying the utility in numerical terms, he can express it into some ranking order. So let me write it. According to ordinal utility analysis, a consumer can rank his preference a consumer can rank his preference according to his what to say, in a consumer can rank, okay, let me reframe it in this way. A consumer can rank the combination of goods, rank the combination of goods he consumed, rank the combination of goods to be consumed according to his, in order of his preference, in order of his preference, in order of his preference. So this is the simple definition of ordinal utility analysis, that according to ordinal utility analysis, a consumer can rank the combination of goods to be consumed in order of his preference. This implies that instead of specifying utility in cardinal terms, the cardinal utility analysis, used a concept that utility can be measured in cardinal numbers, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, dot, 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 and so on and so forth. But this analysis takes entirely a different approach and says that instead of specifying utility in cardinal terms, a consumer can best rank his preference like first, second, third, and so on. So this is the main idea of cardinal and ordinal utility analysis. The cardinal utility analysis uses a numerical measurement, and they said that utility can be measured in numerical terms 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 100, 200, 300. But the ordinal utility said that no, utility cannot be measured in cardinal numbers, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rather, a consumer can rank his preference first, second, third, and like that. The commodity he likes the most, he will rank it in the first place. The next liked commodity will be ranked in the second place, and so on and so forth. So that's why this concept has given the ordinal utility analysis, because a consumer is ordering his preferences, he is ranking which one he likes at the most. It will be at the topmost preference, the first preference, the next one will be second, the next one will be third, and like that. So this is why the concept has been given the name ordinal utility analysis, because a consumer is actually ranking his preference, he is ordering his preference. So I am giving you an example. Suppose that for example, let us suppose that a consumer is consuming two commodities, say banana and mango, say banana and mango. if he likes mango more than banana, he will rank mango as his first and banana as his second preference. So this is it, the entire ordinal utility analysis concept. That this concept, instead of using the cardinal utilities, that means the numerical measurement of utility, so instead of using the cardinal concept, the numerical concept, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 100, 200, 300, 500, and so on and so forth. So instead of using this cardinal concept, this utility analysis uses a ordering concept. So this concept specifically tries to focus on the point that how a consumer is reacting according to his preference. That means how a consumer is showing his preference in terms of the ranking. Rather, this concept is not giving any specification to the numerical measurement, the cardinal measurement of utility. Rather, it is focusing on the ranking of the commodities. So that's why this utility analysis said that the consumer can rank the combination of goods to be consumed in order of his preferences, and this is the example, like a consumer is consuming two commodities, banana and mango, and if he likes mango more than banana, he will rank mango as his first preference and banana as his second preference. If he liked banana over mango, he would have been given banana as his first preference and mango as his second preference. The ultimate point is this, that whichever commodity the consumer will consume and whatever he likes at the most, he will rank that commodity in the first place. The next liked commodity that he wants to consume, that he wishes to consume, will be given the second place, and next one, that could be the third place. Like I'm taking my example, I cannot say this thing like, and this is kind of very absurd, and but I think this ordinal utility is much more stronger. You see, I cannot say this use of this blue ink gives me a satisfaction of 1000 utils, and use of black ink gives me a satisfaction of 200 utils. Rather, I can say that I like blue ink more than the black ink, or the way around, I like the black ink more than the blue ink. So this gives me much more a practical kind of idea, like, and this kind of concept is generally used in practical life also, in our day-to-day life also. We often say that no, we don't like this, we like that. I like this commodity more than that commodity. I like this mobile more than that brand of mobile. I like this biscuit more than that biscuit. So basically, we try to rank our preference, and this idea has been first introduced in some bookish language, in textual language, by J.R. Hicks and R.G. Allen. They first observed this phenomenon that we are not specify our utility in terms of cardinal concepts. Rather, humans, we specify, the consumer specify our preferences in terms of ordering manner. So this is the main idea of cardinal utility analysis, and this analysis is based on certain assumptions also. So I will be discussing these assumptions. Well, if you want to write this concept, you can rewind this video a little backwards and write it down, or you can take a screenshot also. Anyways, let me go through the assumptions and I will discuss them. These assumptions relates to the ordinal utility analysis. Well, students, the first assumption we already know from the cardinal utility analysis, that consumer is assumed to be rational. That means consumer behaves rationally and he tries to maximize his or her utility or satisfaction. The second assumption is that consumer can only rank his preference. And this assumption, a very strong assumptions, at least in my sense, that in practical life also we cannot specify our preferences in terms of some numerical manner. Rather, we can specify our consumption pattern in terms of ranking of a commodities. So a consumer can only rank his preferences. The next assumption is that consumer preferences are monotonic. The consumer preferences are monotonic means that consumer wishes to buy more of the commodity and wishes to choose more of the commodity and no less of other commodity. Say suppose I am giving you one example. We have 4 combinations. We have 4 combinations what we can choose, and we have 2 goods X and Y. X could be jeans and Y could be shirt. So first combination gives me 2 units of X and 1 unit of Y. Second combination gives me 2 units of X and 2 units of Y. Third combination gives me 4 units of X, 3 units of Y, and D combination gives me 4 units of X and 2 units of Y. So out of this, if you ask me which one I will choose, I will definitely choose the C one, because this combination is giving more of the commodities and no less of the other commodity. First, let's take the X. The first 2 combination definitely I will not choose, because these 2 are giving me only 2 units of X, but here in these 2 combination I am getting 4 units of X. Okay, Now let's shift to the Y commodity. Here only 1 unit and 2 unit, definitely we will not choose. At first we have discarded them on the fact that these are giving only 2 units of X, but here we are getting 4 units of X. Okay, now we are trying to concentrate on Y commodity. That means the shirt. The C combination is giving me 3 units of shirt and D combination is giving me 2 units of shirt. So which combination has the mode of all the commodities? Obviously C. C has mode of X as well as mode of Y. So in any situation we will not choose any other than C. So our consumption pattern, a consumer consumption pattern, is always monotonic. That means we want to choose more of the commodity and no less of any other commodity. And the last assumption is that consumer preferences are consistent. So consumer preferences are consistent means if in any situation we are choosing C over D, we are choosing C combination over D combination. So whatever may be the odds, whatever may be the situation it is, we will never choose D over C. This is the consistency of our preference, that if the consumer likes mango more than banana, in any situation he will not choose he likes mango over banana, then he will not choose in any situation banana over mango. So if I like ice cream over chocolate, in any situation I will not choose chocolate over ice cream. For me, ice cream always will be in the first place and chocolate will be in the second place. For that, the consumer, I have given the example, for him mango was the first preference and banana was the second preference. So in any situation he will not choose banana over mango. Here also our main first preference goes to C, second goes to D, third goes to B, and fourth goes to A. The fourth preference goes to A, third preference goes to B, second preference goes to D, and first preference goes to C. So in any situation we will not choose our preference. For us the C always will be in our first place. So we will be consistent with our choice. If we choose C over D in any situation, we will not change our preferences. So this is all, my dear students. The concept of ordinal utility analysis and the assumptions of ordinal utility analysis. I hope you have learned this concept well and you have really got this concept down. And this is it. We will be meeting in our next video. Till then, stay safe, stay strong. Thank you.